sound crazy.
Nathan.
Aye, yo, heart gone cold like Palmer. Bro still shot like Bennett. She wanna question me, I don't ask me, babe, go ask Reddit. I was drunk out my face, I sent that text and then unsent it. I feel like Vinny, I've been up front, but kinda more on the left wing.
We're in Dakota, in Manchester. It's a nice little hotel in, technically, is it Ancoats, Normancourt? I'm not sure. But yeah, I come here maybe like once every other week, try and do some work. It's a nice environment. A lot of cool business owners come here, so try to get some work done. But yeah, we had a busy morning. We were at the gym this morning in David's block trying to film, but we weren't allowed to film, so that was an L. That did not go to plan. And then we've just had some breakfast as well, which was all right. And now just cracking on with work. I've got loads of client work to do today, meetings with editors, potential sales calls, just waiting to see if that's going to happen. A bit of editing, management of files and stuff. So there's loads of work to be getting cracked on with today. So yeah, loads to be done, but we're in Dakota today and it's a bit of a crazy feeling actually, because I came here as a sales rep. So when I must have been 22, just come out of uni, my first job was a sales job, and we did our training here in Dakota. And at the time I was, learning how to do sales and learning how to do that job. And I was on like basically minimum wage, because it was minimum wage plus commission. And now to think 4 or 5 years later, I'm running my own businesses. I've got multiple clients. I'm building properties. I'm doing all this stuff. And to think that I came from being in that room on the other side of this building, learning sales, to like now is pretty crazy. So a bit of a surreal moment every time I come in here to think the things that we're doing, but it's exciting. But I need to crack on with some work now, so I'll catch up with you in a bit. How do you sell without selling? If you want to do it through content, I would recommend not to sell through content. For me, content is about nurturing and engaging your audience and really letting them know who you are, what your product is, what you're trying to do, what your mission is. The selling should really be done in the DMs. So my preferred way of doing content and for my clients is we tell stories, we take people on this journey, and then when people are ready to buy or they're engaged and they want to know more, then they will reach out to you through DMs. You can do call to actions through like story sequences and things like that. But for me personally, I would never recommend want to buy from you. So really the aim of the game is to sell people on the idea first and then get them so intrigued that they want to reach out to you. So I would recommend, if you're trying to sell through your content, then just stop. Can I add mine as well? Voiceovers, because basically we did 4 voiceovers. I just got to put them in the right folder, and then everything else, like I've gone through all the B-roll, put it into separate folders. We typically do like cover titles, like not all of them, but some of them at the start, because it works as like a good visual hook. I see music as an extension of the client's personality. It helps explain everything that they're trying to tell in that story, whilst also being unique to them. So, like I said, it's not about it being like #1 trending song on Instagram. It's not that. It will be a song which is made by an artist that person enjoys, because ultimately we're trying to express and tell their story. So through the through what we speak about in the content, through the messaging, through the the subliminal links to like pop culture and stuff like that, it's all unique to that client, and ultimately we want to make sure that we can showcase that all in the videos. So using epidemic sound is fine, but it doesn't really tell me who Akil is or who Luca is or who Jordan is, because part of it as well is that my girlfriend actually told me this. She was like, sometimes I just watch a video because the backing track I know, like it might be like an old school R&B song, right? It might be like an Usher background track someone's used, and she's just like bobbing away listening to it. She's like, oh, I need to actually watch this video now because I haven't even watched it. I've just listened to it. So sometimes like people just are engaged because of the actual music, not just because of what someone's saying. If that was an epidemic sound, the likelihood of that happening is quite low. And especially because on Meta and on Instagram we're allowed to, like, they don't penalize you for doing it. I don't see why we wouldn't. I get on YouTube, some people want to monetize, so therefore they don't want to use copyrighted music, but you're not trying to monetize from Instagram specifically. You're just trying to get the leads from that, trying to get the eyeballs that your content can generate. And I would argue I do the same for YouTube too. I use copyrighted music all the time because I'd rather get the eyeballs than trying to get a couple £100 from YouTube. Not that I've made a couple £100 yet, but you know what I mean. So I would always prefer to get the instrumentals. Right.
So, what's that point about?
So as part of scaling the business and being able to take on more work and take on more clients and build everything out, I'm obviously needing to outsource all of the fulfillment really, so I can be the head of the business. The first bottleneck really to solve is editing. Have been working with some editors, but there's been issues with quality of content I'm getting back, the time I'm getting it back in, and just communication with them. So what I've realized is it's partly because of the work they're doing, but also partly because of the instructions that I have. And I've basically tried bringing it in-house too soon. So what I'm doing is basically outsourcing it to another agency that I can work with overseas. That is going to allow me to deliver on that part of the fulfillment. They are really smart, they work really fast, the quality of work is really good. And that means that I can take myself out of that part of the fulfillment and start focusing on other parts of the business, like marketing, like client acquisition, like systems. And this was one of the, this was just another call with the guy that runs the agency. So good call, making steps forward on like how we can improve the delivery of the content and keep making it better, keep making it more creative. But ultimately, having this bottleneck solved is what's going to allow me to then go on and start taking on more clients and really start to scale. Because if I'm stuck editing everyone's content, I'm never going to be able to scale past 10, maybe 15K per month. But to really scale this to 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K per month, I need to have a team of A players that can deliver on all parts of the fulfillment. And getting editing sorted is the first bit. So we're making good moves of that. And then in the background, I'm potentially going to start working with these guys who are going to be able to basically build out a whole new system for my business. And from that, we'll be able to create the SOPs, which then means I can hire people and basically allow them to know how to do every single part of their job role and actually do the tasks efficiently. And again, that will allow me to bring on VAs, editors, videographers, potentially accountants, whoever, like whichever part of the business I need to bring in. Having the right systems and SOPs will allow me to do that. So I'm basically solving my fulfillment issue for the short to medium term by outsourcing it to another agency. And then once I've got the systems and SOPs in place, I can then hire in-house and make sure that everything gets done to the standard that we need it to. So lots going on. We're really pushing to obviously scale the business, and for that to happen, I can't be the only one running it. I can't be the only one running the show. I need to be outsourcing to people or bringing it in-house and letting them take over. So that all requires systems and the right people, and both take time to figure out. Sweet. That's actually a cool show.
Yeah.
That's a good one, P.
One-on-one pull up with 10s.
That's it, yeah.
One-on-one never again.
One-on-one,
One get the cake in the butter. I kinda like hustle the money all in. Rhyme in the town in the drop top coupe in the motor in the trunk you can hear. Hearing all about how they want me to lose, but I'm W due for a win.
So one of the biggest challenges that I've had over the last month since really starting to want to scale my business is getting the right team members on board. So there's not enough people online that really speak about the middle part of business. You've either got the start when you've just figured out your offer, you start making some money, and then you've got the end point when you're making loads of money and you're hitting all these huge revenue numbers and everything's working and you've just got this well-oiled machine. But the in-between bit is the bit that most people don't really speak about. And what I'm finding, although it's only a month in, is that the biggest obstacle is finding the right talent and getting them bought into your mission. So for me to scale this business as a marketing agency, I need to obviously relinquish some of the fulfillment. Otherwise, I'm just going to be stuck in all of the day-to-day, trying to edit, trying to ideate, trying to video, trying to do all of this stuff. And really, I'm not building a business. I've just got a freelance job. So what I really need to do is outsource the work to either in-house team members or another agency that can do part of the fulfillment. And in that process, I've obviously been trying to work with different agencies, bringing people on board. And I'm finding that finding the right talent and then being able to nurture them is super, super difficult, because as a founder, I have a certain way of wanting to do things, right? I've always done everything for myself. I understand how everything that I'm trying to do works, right? So I know how it should be, and then trying to communicate that to people that you're bringing on board is not as easy as people think. So the biggest challenge then that I've had from that is obviously getting these people in-house or getting these people as part of an agency that I'm working with and getting them to be able to do the tasks the way that I want them or the way that my clients need them. And I'm realizing now that this is the biggest bottleneck in scaling a business. It's not about having the right offer. It's not about having an idea. It's not about anything else other than getting the right talent in to actually scale, because without the right team and the right systems, your business is done. Well, it's not done, but you can't scale it. So yeah, really working through that at the minute. I've had to kiss a few frogs, to try and find that Prince Charming in regards to fill in some of the gaps when it comes to the bottlenecks that I have, mainly editing at the minute. And yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy trying to find people that are bought into your mission and they can actually deliver on the fulfillment. I found people that are bought in on the mission, but the quality of work just maybe isn't good enough. And I found people whose quality of work is really good, but they're not really bought into the mission. And it's about finding both of those people. And part of that comes from me and how I sell the opportunity to work with me. And part of that also comes from the systems as well. So really starting to deep dive into learning about systems and SOPs and really how to get people on board, whilst also then selling the idea of working for the business as well. So yeah, it's a huge, huge stumbling block that a lot of people don't really speak about, but I think it is the most important thing, because once you start making some money, you validated an idea, you're making money from it, really then to scale, you need to bring the right people on board. And we're working through it, but it's not easy.
One of them ones.